Hi everyone, this is Selena Kraus and welcome to another card video. In this video, I'll show you how to make this card using some LDRS creative stamps and dies. So let's get started. I'm making a winter card, however I'll be using one of the fall stamp sets that is called Happy Fall, along with Tree Line and Hot Chocolate. The Tree Line has coordinating die, and these stamp sets are from the newest release, except the Happy Fall that is from the previous release. So let's get started. I'm starting with this image with the bunny and the little mouse, and I'm stamping on alcohol-friendly cardstock using the Raven hybrid ink, which is very nice black ink, and it's perfect for alcohol-based markers as well as waterproof and can be used for watercoloring too. So I'm just stamping it a couple times here, and just in case or for future use. So there's my image, and now I will do the same with the tree line stamp. That's a border stamp that comes with coordinating die. However, the die only cuts the top, so you have the bottom left that you can create different heights of borders or just backgrounds. So I have that stamp there. You can see how long it is. It is 5.5 inches long, so it's perfect for landscape as well as for portrait too. So I'm using again the Raven ink, the Raven hybrid ink, and I will stamp it a couple times to make sure that I have even coverage and intense black coverage too. I'm just gonna push that back into place and go one more time just in case. Then I'm turning around my cardstock and I'll stamp that the tree line one more time. So I'll ink it one more time and stamp again. So there we have that. Next I'm lining up my die, and then I'll secure it with some microsport tape. It's medical tape, or you can use any washi tape you have on hand. And I'll run it to my die cutting machine just to cut the top off, and then I'll do some fussy cutting to the bottom and as well to sides because I want a little bit shorter. I'll be doing a portrait oriented card, so I want that tree border to be a little bit shorter. So I'm just trimming around the trees there, and then I'll do the same on the bottom. And next I will cut out the image. I'll do again fussy cutting to cut around the edges. So we're finishing that one up. So there we have that. Next I'm taking a panel of white cardstock. I will trim it down to 4 and 5.25, and then just arrange my elements to see where I want them to be. Next I'm taking some LDRS creative stamp masking tape. So I'll mask the borders, the edges on the sides as well the bottom under the trees, and I'll do some ink blending. So I'm cutting strips to mask the edges, and I'm using some grid paper to make sure that I have the mask lined correctly. I'm just adhering. Those are about 3/8 wide. So next I'm taking 3 blue ink pads. I have dark wash denim, I have Bali blue and little boy blue, and I'm doing some ink blending. So I'm starting with the darkest one on the bottom and going lighter towards the top. So I'm just quickly blending that using some blending brushes. And I'm just turning my paper around to make sure that it's I have even coverage and I can see it better. Or it depends if you're left or right-handed. You can put it either way. And then I'm going with the lightest blue, kind of blending that towards the top of my panel. So now that we have the panel all blended, I'll be taking some white paint and then I'll dilute it a little bit with water with my water brush. And I'm gonna flick onto the panel to create the appearance of stars. So now that we're done, I remove the mask and I'm arranging the elements to see where I want them to be, as well to stamp the sentiment. But before we move on to that, I'll be using some alcohol base markers to color my images. So I'm coloring the trees with greens, and then I'll color the bunny and the mouse. So I'm using 3 shades of green and blending it in, and after that I'll add some highlights using white gel pen. So I colored half of it, now I'm coloring the other half. I'm repeating the same process. I'm not doing some super fancy coloring. I'm just blending 3 of the greens pretty quickly. So I'm going now with the lightest to blend the darker 2. Okay, so now we're done with that. I'm adding the highlights with white gel pen, just on the bottom of the branches, where it's like the scalloped edge of the trees. So next I'm coloring the bunny and the little mouse, and I'm using some browns, grays, pinks, and aqua blue. Again, I'm doing some blending, not some super fancy blending, just very plain and simple blending. So now we're moving to the little mouse. And then we're gonna color his ear and add the scarf. And then little highlights using white gel pen. So now I'm arranging the elements where I want them to be on the card and seeing where I want that sentiment to go from the hot chocolate stamp set. So I'm just stamping Winter Magic, and I'm gonna stamp on the right side. So we already did that. Now using foam adhesive, I'm adding the elements onto my panel. And there I'm using a piece of cardstock to make sure that I adhere that straight. Next I'm just adhering the little bunny and the mouse. Next I had different note cards, different colors, so I decided to go with the navy. And I'm using some found foam to adhere the panel onto my card base. And that finishes my card. Thanks for watching today, and hope that you're inspired and that you'll be creative today. See you soon in another video. Bye!